No way for me to increase my volume. I can only get you to lower yours and then just turn up.
There's a perfectly good way of you increasing your volume. You just talk louder.
This is as loud as I talk. I don't have a loud voice unless I'm shouting.
Nature designed your voice that way. You can increase and decrease the volume. It's fantastic. It's like such a...
Tell that to William Shatner.
He can increase the volume. Can, all that.
Can!
Yeah, just do the rest of the podcast like that.
Do you have anything to talk about for the start now that we're technically into go time?
Go time, go!
Sports? TV, sports?
Let's save that for later.
Okay.
I'm a bit confused as to why YouTube, the grandfather of all mad cat videos and people doing stupid things, has decided to put on a comedy week of comedy shows. People go to YouTube to watch pictures of cats doing stupid things, and people...
No, people go to YouTube to watch excellent gaming videos by people like me.
I keep telling yourself that.
Okay, yeah, it is the cat videos. I haven't really looked into this comedy week that they're doing other than the adverts I've seen playing on videos.
It's probably enough.
I've seen Ricky Gervais playing guitar. I've seen David... No, not David Williams. The Peep Show guy. What's his name? The Geek.
It'll come to me. It'll come to me. David Mitchell.
No one. Yes, I knew it was David something. Yeah, I saw him talking to some internet guy, and then I saw the Epic Mealtime guy talking to the Epic Rap Bow guy. Don't know why that's funny. Who knows? I would have a gaming cat sidekick if I didn't find cats reprehensible.
I have 2 gaming cat sidekicks.
Especially the people who have them. You don't really. One of those cats just ignores you. Another one just sits on you from now and then.
Neither of them ignore me.
The girl one does. And the boy one just uses you when it needs warmed up.
The boy one.
I can't remember their names.
They have names,
Oh, actually, I can remember their names. It's just I can't remember which is which. No, wait. Bandit and... Nah. Don't know the other one.
Fidget.
Oh, okay. And which one is the guy?
Bandit.
And which one is the girl?
Deck.
And how much is this free weekend? And it is free, right?
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, it's totally free. Totally free. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who else is a cat person? Because I hate you, but, you can have a cat if you want.
I hate you, but you can have a cat. But I hate you.
No one else answered, other than having the cat sidekick. It's because they're all cat people and they don't want me angry at them.
I don't really agree with putting them in spandex, though.
I think cats would be Nintendo fanboys, and I think dogs would be like...
Oh, which one are you going to pick?
Dogs would be like Xbox, because they would be just barking. Because
they'd be like, sports, dogs. Call of Duty. No, that's what they would be saying. They'd be saying Call of Duty. We'll come to that later on, obviously.
But I want to complain now.
But you always want to complain.
I know, it's fun. It's cathartic. Cathartic. It's nice to do. It's like a vocal orgasm.
Wait, but all right. I'm not even gonna. I was gonna say I'm not even gonna bite that, but I'm not even gonna. I am not even gonna rise to. No, wait.
No.
There's no way of expressing myself here.
Because you're British and you can't help it.
Hello and welcome to the Brain Go Hurty Gaming Podcast. This is episode 51. We're still doing it live. You can come check this out in future on twitch.tv/FlicksGamingStuff. I'm Blighty. This is Flick.
Hello.
This is supposed to be a gaming podcast. We're not here to talk about fapping guitars and doing things to cats.
No, we're here to rip the piss out of the Xbone for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen, I reckon. But we can get the usual things out the way first, I guess.
I will ask what you've been playing if you promise not to then ask yourself.
I can't promise anything ever.
What have you been playing?
Do you know, it's almost like a reflex action. I don't even have any control over it. I had that in my head to say, don't say it, and I was about to say it. I can't help. It's
muscle memory now.
It's
like done it 50 times.
It's a defense mechanism that buys me time to think.
I know. I hear you doing it with your girlfriend in conversation all the time. Said it's just. Well, I was going to say it's just like you going, but no, you do actually say, "What have I been playing? Should we buy this couch? What have I been playing?"
Were you driving over the speed limit with a bottle of gin in your hand? What have I been playing?
What have I been playing? It works in all situations. It's like Gail's theme, but in vocal form. So, what have you been playing?
Does anybody have a good reason why these two should not wed? What have I been playing? I have been playing not an awful lot, to be perfectly honest.
Again.
Aside from, I've other stuff on the go, as we talked about in the last podcast. But
I don't remember.
I've been doing a bit of Isaac. I put that down for a
Could
while.
you rephrase that so it's not slightly sexual in a game where he plays a naked child?
I've been doing a bit of Isaac.
Okay. Any police are listening, I don't condone his actions.
I think I left playing it for quite some time, so I've gone back and it's not fresh, but it's fun to play again. I did some.
Is this his corpse you're talking? Sorry.
It certainly wouldn't be fresh if I left it for that length of time.
No, he would be Blue Baby by now.
Ew.
That's a character.
I'm still enjoying playing it. I think it's a really good idea that it hits.
You're not very good at it, though. Even when you're doing the challenge runs that are stacked in your favour.
I've done the challenges that I've tried.
I've not tried that. I just went past my window blaring techno music.
You love it.
You've done a few of the challenges, but some of them are really hard, and you can't even do the vanilla Isaac.
I have.
That sounds terrible as well.
Finished it.
No, you've defeated Mom once.
Yeah.
You've never gotten to
you've never completed Dark Souls.
You've never gotten to the cathedral.
You've
never gotten to the chest.
Hand tied behind your back, or used your penis to hit the buttons, or
I have a talking point involving Dark Souls later, so we'll get to stuff about that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I've been playing Isaac. We'll knock that one off the list because it's not really anything big. I finished BioShock Infinite.
Yes, you did. And for some reason, you wrongly said you were disappointed with it.
Wrongly said?
Yes.
I didn't say that I was completely. What I've written down here is I was slightly let down by the twists and the ending.
Oh, so there probably isn't any way to talk about it without going into
anything that I could discuss without spoiling it for everybody everywhere and getting shot on the street. It's fine. Anything that I can talk about is perfectly fine. I like the gameplay. I like the overall story. I like the only things I had a bugbear with that you could mention before are exactly the same thing. So I didn't like.
So as in you worked out early, but the game didn't tell you until much later.
Well, some of that, yes, not to the same extent that you did, but you were saying that the tonics, the not the plasmids, what do they call it? Not tonics, the vigors. Are just like one is lightning and then hold down for a lightning trap and it does damage to enemies, or one is fire and it does a fire trap and blah 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 blah. Obviously, you've got some enemies are immune to certain ones, and some
are there? Jesus Christ, I don't think I noticed that.
Fire ones don't hurt the firemen. Obviously,
I never used the fire one once. I got lightning. I like lightning. I use lightning.
But some of them were more effective against other things. Like, see, if you used fire against the Dead Crow ones, it was more effective. It did a lot of damage to them.
You know what else works? Bullets.
Bullets. I did play it through on the harder difficulty, like you suggested.
Good. Did you find any bits overly challenging?
There were a couple of bits, and it was more down to like my continuing argument against the feel of a slightly clunky control style. It's like,
that's right. Blame the controller.
It's only the look sensitivity doesn't seem to be quite right. And if I turn it up, it goes too far. It's like there isn't a nice, comfortable medium. If I was playing it with the mouse and keyboard, probably better. But
yeah, which I did.
Yeah. So
did you like the Latisse characters? They were my favourite.
They were interesting. They're bits that they popped in and out. And
I like the music that plays every time you meet them.
The music was good. I did say that when we did the last podcast.
Did you notice all the sound cues when you're fighting as well? I liked all those touches.
Yes, it's nice. It's
different.
It's yes,
it's the first game I know that has like specific music for when you get criticals or headshots and whatnot.
Yeah. It's fun, and the environments and stuff are quite nice. But
did you prefer Rapture as well?
It's hard to say. You're playing.
Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow?
Yeah, a man is entitled to that, but he's also entitled to fly
says the
around.
man in Russia. It belongs to everybody. Sorry, I won't go into Andrew Ryan quotes.
Is he like your?
I thought Andrew Ryan was a fantastic character.
It didn't have that many standout characters, to be honest.
Nope, just the Latisse twins. I suppose.
The one thing in particular I liked was that they didn't go for the proper damsel in distress, because technically she kind of was, but at the same time, completely not. So
no, I like the video that implies it's the other way around, because she keeps on having to resurrect you if you die, and she's technically invincible. So you were the escort mission for her. I loved that way of thinking.
That's
Elizabeth was dragging your arse through Colombia. I almost said Rapture there. I forgot what it was called. I still only played it through the once. I keep meaning and going back to play it through again on the harder difficulty.
I don't know whether or not I could be bothered without spoiling anything. It's like it's almost like I couldn't be bothered with the first 9 hours of it again, knowing what happens in the last sort of hour. That's my argument for it.
Okay,
but yeah, I enjoy it, and I would say that.
You would still recommend
unlike
it
last year, where it seemed like we got halfway through the year and every game that had come out that we played was a pile of shit. In fact, towards the end of last year, every game we played was a pile of shit. We went through a really bad patch of just playing crap games and trying to make the best out of them. This year, I think we've not done too badly.
CR is harassing me on Steam because he doesn't pay attention to know when we're streaming. Asking me if you've sent any thugs flying yet. But we'll get to that. Or we could talk about that now, about Dead Island.
Yeah, okay.
Since we're still playing that. Have you sent any flugs?
Not officially.
Have you sent any flugs or thugs flying yet? No, I deliberately said it that time.
Not officially. Not officially. Not like in the first one where, there have been some crit hits.
In one of the final parts to the first game's playthrough, when we're in the prison, I'm pretty sure it's maybe like the fourth from last part, he sends a thug flying across the length of, I think it was either a kitchen or a mess hall. It was one of the two, but the whole length.
Hall. It was the mess hall. I'm pretty certain it was.
And it is hilarious.
It was
so much the only time it happened, and we didn't expect it. That's why. But now we're kind of wanting it to happen, so of course it isn't.
That's the only reason why I insisted on sticking with Sam B again.
Just because he's...
I was hoping... Well, I didn't know that it was going to happen, but I was hoping that I would get that again. Just the capacity to not...
The game does seem slightly biased towards him.
Yeah, at the moment it seems like...
Apparently you didn't spec properly and you're the worst Sam B ever.
Fuck you and your stupid opinion.
That's not nice. It might be apt, but it's not nice.
It's fun. I've not spec properly. Why? Because I'm not tanking? Because I'm not pure fury mode? I enjoy playing it the way I play it.
Yeah, it'll happen eventually. Maybe. We'll see. But we're into like the final half now, recording-wise, not upload-wise.
Oh, no.
Although in saying that, I'm only 2 parts behind.
Oh.
In terms of like the ones we've recorded that haven't been posted yet.
What's your guess on how many episodes it's going to take up? Is it going to be like 50 like the last one?
No, definitely not. It's far shorter. I would say 30. Yeah, if we don't keep on getting distracted, and if we do we skip some of the side quests recording wise, just so we're not going back and forwards constantly, it'll be a bit behind. Oh, Slime Maz is 4 parts behind. Get to it.
It's a long one though. It's still like, without having drastically different areas to sit and watch it. It must be slightly like I'm going to say it slightly repetitive. It's going to have like a
so
we got a sewer section, but
yeah,
you spend a lot of it on an island in the towns, slightly on the beach area, slightly on the forest area.
No, CR, I will not tell people to get Payday and Torchlight 2. I assume you mean Payday 2? Is that not out soon?
It's coming.
I saw it on Steam, but I don't... Just earlier, but I don't know if it's out soon. I know they're accepting pre-orders. Oh, he means the first one. I had Torchlight 2, but I uninstalled it because I had no motivation to carry on playing it.
We went through that before, though. That was just like, you could either play that or play Diablo, and if you'd already finished Diablo on all the difficulties, then there was no real reason.
We technically never finished on it.
Shut up.
For the record, because we got bored with it before then.
Shut up.
Yeah, plus it was overly hard anyway, that difficulty. It just kicks your arse constantly every single fight.
No, we were going to get it. We were going to get there.
Yeah, we just got bored and moved on.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Hitman. Did I talk about this last time? The first video I uploaded of it.
You got to the latex.
No. But did I talk about the contract mode video I did? I don't think I did. I think I've done that in the past 2 weeks. Because I remember I was having a problem with the contracts mode where I could only find the same 3 maps.
That's as far as
and I said I was going to mess with the filters. Well, I did, and I got it working. So I recorded a video of me trying one of the contracts. I did one that I'd played through previously, although people seem to prefer that if I do more, which I'm going to try and get round to. They would prefer me seeing blind runs of ones I haven't done, so they definitely won't be as slick as the one I uploaded.
It's probably because it's more interesting to watch somebody's thought process and trying to solve a problem than it is. Like go back to Portal 2, watching us try to figure out some of the puzzles and stuff. Probably more entertaining than us just doing the puzzles.
Yeah, I wish more people had seen our Portal 2 playthrough, because I think it was very both entertaining and also interesting to see us thinking through the puzzles.
This is not
thinking through the puzzles.
This is not a plug Flick FFXI YouTube channel podcast.
Yeah, it is not a www.youtube.com/flickffxi hearing moment. I agree.
You should steal that one. Flick FFXI hearing moment.com.
It exists. It's the internet, of course.
Every moment is a you hearing something moment.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I come in from work every day to a Skype message saying, go onto Reddit and thumb up this post for me.
And you don't do that at all.
No.
Never. No, never.
To be perfectly honest, I didn't do the one today because I forgot.
Oh, the one today is important, and we'll get onto that later. But first, so I will try and do another Hitman video sometime soon. It's because usually I'm uploading a part of the Dead Island playthrough, so I can't get onto the servers on Hitman and record, I think. I haven't tried it, but I think it would be a problem. We'll see. So have you exhausted your whole list with just BioShock?
Dead Island and Isaac. Those are the only 3 games that I have played in the last 2 weeks. True. True. Aside from the 10 minutes I spent playing Super Stickman Golf 2 on my phone. That doesn't count.
Okay, well, I'll pick something then. I've been playing Sanctum 2. As my chair squeaks in amusement.
Squeak.
Yes, I decided to get in touch with the developers just before release and said, hey, can I have a review copy? And they got back to me within 10 minutes and said, sure, I'll put you in touch with their PR. And I talked to their PR for a little while and they gave me a copy. Unfortunately,
you should try this with more companies.
Who says I don't? Unfortunately, he gave me an Xbox
slut.
code, and it was region locked, I think, so I had to keep on going back and forward with him. Eventually, we just said, look, can I just have a PC code instead? So by then, unfortunately, it was already released. But, I still got the copy, and I like it. Do you know what it is? You obviously didn't watch my video of it.
Yeah, first person sort of tower defense style.
You don't just build turrets, you build the maze itself as well. Which is an interesting twist, I think. And with it being first person, sure, as well.
It's tower defense is a done and dusted.
Traveling Salesman says it's pretty fun, and it is, because he has it and we played a game together.
Oh, I didn't realise it was co-op.
Of course it is. It's up to 4 people co-op.
Oh, and how much? I'd like to.
How much is it? I want to say $14.99, but I could be wrong.
That's not too bad.
If you'd pre-ordered it, you would have got it for 10% less than that.
Well, I would have saved £1.49.
Yeah, £11.99, which is pretty nice.
Wow.
I think it's more than worth that. It's full of Easter eggs and references. It's got a leveling system, perk system. Prior to a patch out earlier today, you kind of had to fight over resources. The 2 resources, the one for building the maze, one for building the turrets. But a patch earlier made it so it's just shared co-op, which is far smarter. They should have done that from the get-go. So that's fixed one of my bugbears that I didn't know about when I did my video, because I did my video solo. That I only found out about after trying it co-op. So apparently for the same amount of money, you can get the Blood Dragon expansion or Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
Wow, we went through it before. It's Juarez.
Juarez. I am from Latin. Oh, yes, Travelling Salesman remind me of the best part. When you type chat in Sanctum 2, it says it in a Stephen Hawking's voice as well as making it appear as text on the screen, and we had so much fun with that.
Oh, I am so
just like typing out vaginal wart infection and just hearing the robot voice do it. It's immature, but it's funny.
Didn't I do this to you by sending you messages to like a phone number for you to pick up? What? No, it wasn't. It was Siri. We were getting Siri to say things.
Oh, we were getting Siri to have...
the same thing works if you send a text message to somebody's like a landline number, because obviously it doesn't have text capacity. The woman reads it out.
And I was going to do a test of it there, but I think Siri's voice might be copyrighted, so I won't.
You try it. It's like text something to your house number.
Oh, no, I'll text something to you.
To my house number?
No, I don't have your... Well, I probably do. No, I meant I would text something to your phone.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, mine's is probably copyright too.
Yeah, exactly. So I better not. Just on the off chance. I don't want Siri to come after us.
I could pretend that I was doing the voice for it.
No, you couldn't. Plus, the American people listening would be confused because their Siri is female.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, ours is male. A very stern-sounding gentleman that I assume is the soul of... What's his name? Steve Jobs.
He's trapped in the phone.
Anyway, as I was saying, I did one of my new video series, Let's Look At of Sanctum 2. If you're on the fence about it, I suggest you watch it, and I do like it, and I want to play it more co-op.
You've been doing an awful lot more.
It's pretty tough.
Like random Let's Play sort of things.
But you know why that is? It's just in case everybody else goes all Nazi like Nintendo did, and indie games are the way to go if you want to be safe. So I might as well help out the little guys if the big guys are going to fuck you.
What if you like getting fucked?
Then bend over and receive Nintendo.
Oh.
We're still going through games played, or I am, but you're not because you've got nothing.
I've covered my games played.
I've been playing Dark Souls.
I am like pure German efficiency.
Dark Souls. So for those who may not know,
wait. The reason you're playing Dark Souls is because you've got my copy of it.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't going to buy it again, but I knew you still had it, so I asked to borrow it. Now, there's a bit of a reason why. To this day, I still get bitched at for my opinion of Dark Souls being absolute garbage. To a certain extent, I still get it for Bulletstorm as well. L.A. Noire, not so much. But yeah, the Dark Souls thing keeps on coming up that people think I'm wrong about my opinion of that game. And on one of the podcasts where we had Noodles on, he argued with me about because he loved it. And one of the things we reached in that discussion was that he was playing the PC version, which had been
the Die edition, wasn't it?
The Die edition, which had been heavily patched. And we decided it probably wasn't the same game after all that patching. So I got annoyed by getting harassed about my opinion of it again, so I thought, I'll try it. It's been patched, I'll give it a go. So I asked to borrow your copy of it.
Right.
So here are my experiences with the patched Dark Souls on PS3.
Oh dear. Can I go get a drink now? Well,
fair enough.
No, it's alright. Carry on.
500 megabytes. 500 gig patch would be awesome. That'd fix the game.
Yeah, and then some. That'd fix your console.
Sorry. 500 megabytes of patching later, I created a new character because I couldn't really remember what my other one was doing or what playthrough it was on. I think it was New Game Plus, either way.
Killing all the things.
First thing I noticed was none of the messages were appearing, either the ones in the tutorial area made by the developers or the ones laid by other players. Every so often I would see them, but they would kind of flash. Then I noticed that the flashing glow, or the glow for when there's an item for you to pick up, wasn't appearing at all.
Okay.
So I went looking, and one of the patches broke it.
Oh.
The items become invisible.
Was that an old
no
patch?
player messages appeared.
Updating it since, or is it?
I don't know when it happened. But the funniest part is, I looked at what the current solution is. Play offline.
Fantastic.
So I'm playing offline. So I can't tell you whether the online is fixed.
But wait, before we get into the main event of this podcast, you just made a counter argument to one of the biggest problems you have with the Xbone.
Well, exactly. If I was playing on an always-on console, I'd be fucked item-wise. If I'd never played the game before, I wouldn't know I'd be missing every single item in the game.
You're complaining that you don't have access to the stuff that requires the game to be always on and play offline.
Yeah, and at the same time...
to play online all the time on a console, you'd be complaining that you couldn't play offline, and being told, the solution is to play offline.
No, I'm complaining that if I was forced to always be online, I would never get any assistance or be able to pick up any items, so it's a good job I can play offline.
True.
So it's kind of the double-edged sword.
Either way, if the fact that the patch fucked it up is kind of testament to...
Yeah, other than that, I see nothing else changed. If you want to do well in the early game, get the Drake Sword, then get the Lightning Spear and Zen Fortress. Upgrade a Katana to Lightning +5. Cakewalk your way through the rest of the game until the end.
Funsies. See, I was suggesting that you just go back to Demon's Souls. It was the better game. And
Demon's Souls was the better game, and I wish I still had it. In fact, no, I think I do.
It is one of those...
It's the Japanese version I have.
Rare occurrences.
Yeah, it is.
Both completely agree on something, without an if or a but or a maybe. I do definitely agree with you that Demon's Souls is far superior to Dark Souls.
I don't get the argument that Dark Souls having practically no story is a good thing. It's like, you've got to dig deep. No, you've not. You've just got to read the item descriptions. That's not a good way to tell a story. Putting it in item descriptions, fuck off. Do it properly. Tell a proper story. It's ambiguous for the sake of laziness, not for the sake of artistic credibility.
It allows for some awfully random nonsense to sort of turn up. If you're not paying attention, like I frequently...
And then you meet King Seeker Framp.
And you're just like, holy shit, some sort of warped dildo just came out of the ground and is talking to me with giant buck teeth. What the hell?
It was fun getting to meet Solitaire again and the Onion Knight. That's the only 2 plus points. I may still persist just to finish it, but... my opinion of it has not changed. It's still a garbage game. I might look into Dark Souls 2 now that it's got a different producer helming the project, and that co-op will apparently be a bigger aspect rather than trolling. But who knows? Yes, there is an Onion Knight. You're going to try and... I don't know. He's not called that, but he has Onion Knight armor.
Still closed.
Still closed.
You're going to
I did mean to say so there. My mistake.
Convince me into buying another crap game, are you?
No, I'd rather convince you to buy Sanctum 2, which is a good game. But Dark Souls 2, no, I would try and get a review copy.
Yeah, you would. Some of us have to buy our games. Some of us have to work for our games.
I work for my games.
No, you just put up with me for your games.
I want to talk about a good game now, and then I'll talk about maybe a good game, because I've gotten the bad one out of the way. Project Xbone. Do you remember me talking about this before? No, you don't, do you?
I'm going to go with no.
It's the 3DS game that has characters from a bunch of franchises: Devil May Cry, Street Fighter, Resonance of Fate.
I switched off when you said 3DS. That's probably why.
Yeah, I know you did, because you're prejudiced against that particular console just because you don't have one.
No, I'm prejudiced.
You ignored me when I said Resident Evil Revelations was a pretty good game because it was on 3DS. Now it's on PC. Are you going to give a shit?
I might. Is it on sale on Steam?
No, it's only just came out. It's full price.
When it hits the Steam summer sale, I might get it.
Christmas. No, it will be summer sale. Summer sale
Christmas
until about November, and then the Christmas sale runs until about June. So
yeah. No, that's a perfectly reasonable way of approaching things.
Either way, the demo gives you a taste of what the combat's like. It's Final Fantasy Tactics style, turn-based, and then you go into a little combo-based battle system. Yes, there's CR being all accurate. Capcom, Sega, Namco, etc. And it's a version of Disgaea or Final Fantasy Tactics. So in the demo, I knew the characters from Dot Hack. I knew the characters from Valkyria Chronicles 3, even though it wasn't released outside of Japan, and that's part of the reason why I hate Sega. And also Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter.
Just part of the reason you hate Sega.
Yeah, there's plenty of other reasons. But
other than the fact they stole your Magic 8.
I really like the Valkyria Chronicle games. And it annoys me that the third one didn't come out here.
So,
has CR already bought Sanctum 2? He just did. See, that is proof, kind of.
Unequivocal proof.
Free marketing.
You talk about something and that somebody buys it. That's not proof. That's like me waking
You're
up.
You're weakening an argument I'm going to make later on when we get onto the Nintendo stuff.
It's what I live to do, to weaken your arguments and your soul.
The final game is one I played for the first time this morning and made a video of straight away, called Moon Rift.
I haven't got around to watching that video yet.
It is a 2.5.
That's the thing you told me to thumb up on Reddit. So obviously
Yes,
I'm not going to thumb something up without actually agreeing with it.
Exactly, that's good.
Oh, well, yes, that is good.
That is good. You're thinking for yourself, and that's the whole point.
Ooh.
So it's a 2.5D, mainly 2D, side-scrolling shooter with a Borderlands-type mechanic when it comes to guns being randomized in their effects, elements, and attributes. So you can have a rocket launcher that ricochets and split shots and fires like a firework. And
that sounds fun.
It is a lot of fun, and I am amazed that he's only asking, I think, 6,000 or 7,000 for it, when a game like Chasm was asking for 120 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's asking for $6,000. He's currently at just over 4.5. I think he made a bit of a mistake, though. There's one guy making it as well, which is impressive.
Just one guy is pretty cool, but then go back to, like, Notch was just one guy, and he started.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Great things can start with one person. I think he's mainly marketing it as the iOS and Android version, which I think it was a mistake. There is going to be a PC version and an Ouya version, for the record.
Ouya!
But he's mainly focused on the iOS, and I think if he'd done PC and said, it's also going to be on mobile, he would have had far more interest, and he deserves more interest.
You're still not saying it right.
What? Ouya!
That's better.
I have to say it like I'm dubbing a Japanese character in a kung fu movie.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you throw the guy, and then he explodes when he.
And then my mouth moves for 5 seconds, and then I go, okay. So anyway, there's a free demo of Moonrift. You can get it from their Kickstarter. If you just put in Kickstarter Moonrift into Google, you'll find it. Or I think it's just moonrift.com/demo if you want to try it for yourself, or watch my video of it and then decide there if you want to try and back it. I think it'd be a great shame if it doesn't meet its target, because he is also estimating that if he does get the money he needs, he'll release it by November this year. And a lot of Kickstarters are usually, a year or two down the line. But no, he's
pretty
later
good
this year.
But then, he's one guy. He's not got to mess around with other people or disagree with other people. It's just like,
it sounds like
do it.
It sounds like someone asking for what they need rather than what they want, which is good.
They must genuinely exist, people actually using Kickstarter for it.
Hitler said the same. What did I say that Hitler said? People in the chat? Did I accidentally say something terrible?
Yeah, you probably did.
Shit. Make sure that gets lost in editing. So we could move on to one of the bigger topics now. There is, of course, the really big topic.
Okay, but
there is what I consider to be another large topic: Nintendo being bastards.
Yeah, go with that first.
Okay, so are you aware?
Let them salivate for the main event. Am I aware of what they did?
What Nintendo did, yes.
What Nintendo did? What did Nintendo do?
Nintendo issued mass content ID claims on videos on YouTube featuring content from their games.
Fantastic.
A content claim is not the same as a copyright strike, first of all, just to make this clear. A content ID claim is a copyright claim. It doesn't put a strike on your account. It doesn't remove the video. It just means that adverts will play on it and the money will go to Nintendo.
Yes, to them.
So they, perhaps rightfully, think that they deserve the money from the adverts on, videos showing footage of the games they made.
I have a couple of those on, I think it was some of the Saints Row videos that I did.
Yeah, like sometimes content ID can get through. It does kind of scream of either Nintendo just once again failing to understand how the modern world works, or they are really desperate for money. And
I think it's the latter.
This is a case of them wanting their cake and eating it too, because they're saying, here, make videos on YouTube of our games. We don't mind. We want the free advertising. Oh, but the money you earn is ours.
You better watch out. They'll set up their own YouTube channel where they'll play other producers' games and stuff like that. They'll play like stuff that's produced by Microsoft Studios and so on and so forth.
Well, actually, Microsoft Studios is one of the only other companies that say no to making videos of their content. Nintendo is now only the second to do it, although Nintendo are the only one to mass act on it. Although apparently a few months ago, Sega went on a mass copyright striking spree for old Fire Emblem games just so that the new Fire Emblem would be higher in the search rankings.
Stupid.
And they got in a lot of shit for that.
The thing is, right, I can understand you wanting to prevent people from, say, putting out bad publicity for your game, right?
Yeah.
But free publicity is a good thing. And Absolutely. It sounds more like it's a case of, well, you're not giving us any money for whatever you're profiting from our product, so we want to shit in your breakfast. Just out of spite.
That's your new favourite saying.
Go, shit in my breakfast.
Shit just because of aliens, colonial marines.
It's not just because of that.
No, but it was said in that, and it was funny in that.
It was.
Yeah, so for the record, copyright law can't be applicable here because it's so out of date. It doesn't understand concepts like the internet. So fair use and transformative works and criticism and review and everything that applies for TV and music is harder to apply online. And there is an argument for both sides whether or not what people, Let's Players, do is legal or not. Either it is or it isn't, but the laws have to be updated for either case to be true.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So we can't talk about that because, as I say, the laws don't say one way or the other.
Law is the law.
The law is out of date and needs to be updated. But what we can say is what will happen here. There is absolutely no way Nintendo will come out of this well.
No.
Because the people getting content IDs, they won't necessarily be the type of people who live on YouTube videos. However, they might feel like they're kind of getting,
shafted.
Yeah.
Wait, seriously? Shafted?
Shafted by, and it's hurting the people who are loyal to Nintendo.
Yeah, because
only
Nintendo
fanboys
games.
will be uploading videos of Nintendo games.
I love Nintendo. I'm going to upload Nintendo videos. Nintendo going, oh, you're not going to upload Nintendo videos.
Oh, no, they are. They're saying, yeah, go ahead, but we get the money.
And then they go, well, maybe I'll upload videos for the next Xbox instead of the Wii U.
So, yeah, either they will make the video private so it gets no more views until Nintendo drops the claim. They will just delete it. They will maybe leave it up so Nintendo will get the money on that, but they'll never upload another Nintendo game.
Exactly.
Nintendo will never get any more money off them, and they'll just get forgotten about. There's absolutely no way Nintendo will come out of this well. They have made a horrific mistake, and hopefully they will backtrack when they realise how ultimately stupid they have been.
I'm surprised that none of them have decided, right, what we'll do is we'll put a notice out that basically says you're free to do whatever you want in terms of uploading, as long as it's like within the realms of like a Let's Play. But the proviso is that like we get 10% cut of whatever advertising revenue you get.
That's an interesting point, because in the discussions on Reddit about this, Notch spoke about his experiences with YouTube. Because in the Minecraft terms and services, he put that you can use it for whatever you like. Use it for videos, I don't care. You can do whatever you want.
Yep.
But he said YouTube approached him and said, a lot of people on YouTube are making Minecraft videos. Are you sure you don't want a cut of this? And he said it was really tough to turn it down, but he decided not to. They directly offered him the exact deal you're saying, where he would just get a cut.
Yeah.
Other people would still
get money as it is anyway.
Exactly. So, fair play to him for managing to turn down a chance to get even richer. But that just shows that YouTube is willing to compromise, so it's just a case of Nintendo now.
Well, that's because they're like going into the conspiracy theory thing, but they're one of these big evil corporations. We're all contributing to part of that big machine already, but they're in it for the money. They're not in it to make our lives better. I mean, I know all those videos of cats doing the stupidest things are making the world a better place, but at the same time, they're just making money out of it. So
there was a couple of other issues with this as well. The content ID matching system in YouTube is audio based and visual based. It doesn't take into account whether what's on the screen was used with permission, i.e., say IGN reporting on a Nintendo conference that they were invited to. Right. Content ID claim doesn't matter or doesn't understand, so it'll mark that video as well. And places like IGN, GameStop, or Eurogamer, or whoever have an official YouTube account, they're not going to want their money going to Nintendo either, and they can't stop the system because Nintendo set themselves up as a direct partner. That's how they cheated the system. So now IGN and all the other really big folk are saying, well, we don't earn anything from doing this, so screw it.
That's it, and those are the big boys that are actually going to do some of the advertising.
They're the ones who matter more significantly than Let's Players, and they're the ones who will hopefully, for once, be the good guy and make Nintendo see what was wrong. And Nintendo's always been this way, because do you remember I used to be friends with a TV presenter from a gaming channel on Sky?
Yes.
Well, once he told me, because this was when I was trying to get into gaming journalism, I asked him, how do you handle approaching people for review copies and like review consoles and stuff like that? He says, we just tell them we're a TV network, etc. But anytime we ask Nintendo, it's always a flat no. You have to buy your own stuff. So that's why we never cover Nintendo stuff on the TV.
That's a good.
So they have always been this way. The perfect example I saw someone say is Nintendo is an old company run by old people, and they need to kind of step down now and let people who know what they're doing in the modern age take over.
I'm trying really hard to make this come out in the best possible way, right? You're talking about them being like old and set in their ways and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This harks back to the problems with, and jumping on another topic as well, with Final Fantasy XIV. The developers basically said, no, we know what you want. So we can do the beta and everybody can play it, and they can put all their feedback in saying you need to change this, 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 and this, and you'll make a good game. And they go, no, you don't want any of that. We know what you want. You want this, 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 and this, and it's poo.
That'll be put to the test when Realm Reborn comes out again, I guess.
Yes, so now, yes, the 3 years after the original sort of launch of Final Fantasy XIV, which was probably one of the biggest flops that we've seen. Now they're doing it again with Realm Reborn, and you can buy another collector's edition again.
What does it come with? I never actually looked into it.
I didn't actually look into the details of the...
I guess you're not buying it then.
No, I don't think this computer could run it, if I remember rightly.
That computer could not run it, no, assuming it's the exact same engine as it was before.
Although bits of my old computer that I chucked out could. Go figure.
Make a MMO so good graphically that not a lot of, fairly high-end at the time PCs couldn't even run it. That was another mistake of they made... Oh, but you want good graphics. We can't run good graphics.
But you want
not an MMO. Yeah.
Oh, it's but that does sound like it, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous to. It's not just assuming; it's basically like outright ignorance. They're just being,
pretty much,
because they were told they were told outright, and it wasn't like they were told outright from Europe or from.
This has been a sticking point for you for ages. You won't let it die.
No, I won't, because
Is that because you were really looking forward to...
I was. I listened to a lot of podcasts on all the news that was getting revealed over the months.
Right.
On the run up to it and stuff, and I was looking into all the details and all that, because I loved Final Fantasy XI, and I still think it's probably one of the better games that I ever played. Thankfully, I never, as Stephen has pointed out in the chat, that I didn't actually get to play Final Fantasy XIV. And
I did. Be glad you did.
Good, because I didn't tarnish
the good name of Final Fantasy XI that I steal for the latter half of my YouTube name.
It's the same that it's a good thing that I didn't play Bioshock 2 and tarnish the...
Yeah, definitely.
Jump straight to another good game, so...
Yeah, so a lot of other people, as a result of this Nintendo thing, are worrying that, what if Microsoft and Sony go the same way, so let's start, big upping the indie crowd, because the indie crowd understands how good Let's Playing and YouTube in general is for marketing. It's free.
It could revolutionise the way that gaming videos are done on the internet, though. Because you could end up having huge swathes of games that aren't covered by external sources. Or, worse still, the developers could then, or the publishers, could then pick specific people that would be allowed to do it. And there would be people that would probably be paid to give them a decent review or only show the good points of the games, blah, 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 blah.
It's a good time to be an indie dev either way.
It could completely cut out all these people making money off of games, and then they'd all jump into trying to do indie stuff.
Hopefully they will. The indie market might be where it has to go. The guy, or guys, I'm not sure, who make Game Dev Tycoon, they added in on the same conversation about the Nintendo thing, saying their sales were say 10 a day. And then prominent YouTubers like Total Biscuit did a feature on it, and they got more than 100 times a day sales from then on. It wasn't like people watching and saying, I've seen enough of that game, I don't need to play it now.
Yeah,
although there is an argument for that some people do just like watching games.
Some people do.
Rather than buying them.
Think about how much time people must spend watching Minecraft videos, right? And there isn't that much to it. To be perfectly honest, okay, there are, mods and various levels that people put together, and people do their little story modes and that sort of bullshit. End of the day, there isn't actually all that much to the game.
But that's where the main argument on the side of people going against Nintendo comes from, that it's less about the video that's being made, it's more about the person making the video, and people tune in for the personality behind it rather than the game itself.
So what you're saying is
you could get Total Biscuit playing Barbie, people would still watch it because it's Total Biscuit playing a game.
So the reason why nobody tunes into our videos and podcasts is because we've got terrible personalities.
Yeah, we suck.
Oh dear.
CR says that's why anyone at all is watching. Not many people are watching our Dead Island Riptide videos, but those are probably just watching it for our randomness.
They're sick. They're sick.
Because, like you were saying earlier, if it was just the footage, it would be bloody boring.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of that conversation.
Killed, stone dead in the water.
It's good when a conversation dies, because that's a good point to move on. Shall we do emails before we moan about Xbone?
Can I go and get some more gin before we do so?
Yeah, go on. I'll chat to people while you do that.
You deal with the chatting to folk. We haven't
rabble.
We haven't really spoken to the rabble very much.
I want to see if I can kill the number of people viewing by saying that there's no prizes this time. 8 down to 2. So, emails first, and then Xbone?
I will go in order of when they came in.
Okay.
The first one that we have here is from the good Rory.
He apologises for not being able to watch this live because he was going to London for some reason. I hear that's not a safe place to be right now, so, maybe that was a mistake.
Only if you like to keep your head. Hello again, it's me, the good Rory. Now, for this week's question, if you have already talked about this, then skip to the crazy versus match. With Disney making a deal with EA so that EA can exclusively make Star Wars games, do you think this is a good thing, or do you think EA will suck Star Wars dry until there's nothing left but a dead corpse of a franchise?
Charming. Slime has actually brought this up in the chat during our live podcast, but I totally forgot to mention it while we were recording.
Whoops.
Yeah. So, my contact with my YouTube partner actually mentioned that to me. Like, what's your opinion on EA and Disney and, Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. And my reaction was, it can't be any worse than what Lucas did with the prequels,
well, there is that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there will be a lot of DLC. Be prepared for that.
Yeah. I mean, you've got two sides to it, though. One, there's going to be an awful lot of money that's going to be pumped into it. So you could see a few games. You could see a few decent-ish games. The downside is, well, it's EA, so...
There might be another Old Republic on our hands.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we once again, we made our own fun.
Oh, okay. TR wants us to briefly mention there's a Battlefield 4 coming, and there's already a DLC for it.
I know the Battlefield 4 is coming because I didn't show you the trailer. You didn't watch it, but
I'm not interested in a game I won't play because it's on Origin.
Oh yes, that argument again.
I will never own Origin, and I will never own a game that requires it.
So
I don't care, but yes, for those who do care, there's already DLC announced, so, have fun paying for something that's being made while the game's being made.
But we already knew that DLC was coming out for Borderlands 2 before the game came out.
It was a different company handling it, though, so that's...
so that's okay, then. Oh.
Yeah, because they concentrated on doing a decent enough... Like, you could play Borderlands 2 and not touch any of the DLC and be satisfied with what you got.
True.
So that's different.
Shall I carry on with the email?
Yes.
Now it's time for another crazy versus fight. Who'd win and why? A zombie crocodile, which is a really smart zombie, versus a half-human, half-bear person. Isn't that like man-bear-pig?
No, because he's half-bear, half-man, and half-bear-pig.
Half-bear-pig.
But is the zombie smart by human standards or smart by alligator standards?
I don't know. Why are you asking me? I don't know.
Well, he's not here, so I can't ask him. I would think the zombie would win because even if it lost, it would still infect the half-bear, whatever it was you said.
Half-human, half-bear person.
So it's like Bear Grylls then?
Yeah.
Or one of the hairy bikers. I'm pretty sure their mother was a bear.
And their father.
So the fact they look even a little bit human is just a coincidence.
Yeah.
They're actually 100% bear.
They're all bear. I'm all bear, baby.
Ugh.
Yeah, I would say the zombie. Because zombies always win, in the end.
Zombies are winning.
They get the moral victory, regardless.
The immoral victory.
CR has commented that the other one is half bear, which makes it auto win. That's a good point. I mean, bears are bastards.
Yeah, they'll do anything to win.
I don't know how many hits that video's had. I've not been back and had a look.
Oh yeah, your bears are bleeps. I bleep myself, so you didn't have to do that in the edit.
Fantastic. And now for the 5-word gaming things.
Hooray!
We're struggling to figure out what to actually call that section. But let's
5-word game descriptions.
So,
of epicness.
Crazy World must eat now.
Crazy World. Oh, he's not here either, so we don't know if we're right or not.
Crazy World must eat now. Isn't that like that Don't Starve?
Oh, it will be, yeah, probably. I was going to say Katamari or something. Yeah, it will be. It'll be Don't Starve. It will be. Yeah, Slime Az agrees.
4-man team take money. That's going to be Payday.
That's Payday. Or Payday 2. Yes. Or Payday the Heist, if you want the correct name.
Laser Katana only on eBay.
I'm
not sure about
I don't get the only on eBay bit.
Laser Katana only on...
Not like... No, I'm not sure. Help us out, people watching. Laser Katana only on eBay?
Laser Katana only on eBay.
What games have laser katanas? Revengeance?
I mean, maybe it's a Star Wars thing.
Oh, No More Heroes. Oh, yeah, he had a laser sword, but did you have to, like, buy them online in it or something?
I don't know.
He did yeah, Travis had a laser katana. And you had to power it up by doing a masturbation motion with your Wii remote.
Wank yourself harder. I mean, no, wank yourself stronger.
It was actually an in-joke in the game that you masturbated to get it harder.
Slight comment there to say that the Bears Are Bastards, or whatever, is at 836 views.
Oh, okay, he bought his laser sword on eBay, so yeah, No More Heroes.
Free run, don't shoot edgy.
Don't shoot edgy? What?
Maybe it's Mirror's Edge. Free run,
I was going to say that, but I don't get the no shoot edgy. You can do it without shooting anyone. Maybe that's what he means.
Maybe.
Yeah, everyone seems to agree Mirror's Edge. We'll find out next time.
80s madness with cool lizards. I have no idea.
That lizard on the Sega with the shades. No? I can't remember what it was called.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Hotline Miami? I keep on hearing about that game, but I've never played it. Blood Dragon, CR says, and Traveling Salesman says Hotline Miami.
Well?
This was the portion of the show where we ask the audience copyright.
And if you want any ideas for games that you could get people together on, you could try the new Marvel Heroes MMO. I was
going to try that during the free beta weekend, but now it's off now until it's free to play when it's released, so I missed the chance.
This sounds like an interesting idea. You could have a private Dota 2 match with you two as the captains.
I don't know how to play Dota 2.
Neither do I, and that would make things interesting.
I didn't know you could have private games, so that might be a good way to learn what it is, but I've heard it's also addictive along with the people playing it being cocks.
Yeah, but we'll be playing on a private match, so then we don't have to put up with the cocks.
But what if it's addictive?
I can put up with your cock, and you have to put it with my cock.
Don't say things like that can be taken out of context and put on the internet. You made a viewer
It's already on the internet.
Fantastic. You scared someone off with your dick. It's not the first time that's happened.
If I was a video game, I would have that on the back of the box. You scared someone away with your dick. Oh, they're back for more.
Oh, no. Oh, Sierra's got a 5-word thingy. We're going to do it live.
Okay, well, let me finish off the Good Rory's email first. So that's all for this one. And thanks again for the prize that I didn't really win, but got us the real winner, already had the game.
You're welcome.
So you're welcome.
Let us know why you were in London if you still have a head.
Yeah. Maybe he was the one. No, right. Let's not go there.
No, let's not. Not enough time. Units. Sad face. That's not Don't Starve Again, I assume.
Not enough time units. Sad face. No.
Is there a reason you capitalised it all? NETUS.
Just because he's doing it as a 5-word thing. So it's.
Oh, okay. Is that how you count? You go by the number of capital letters. That's not how you count.
That's how orcs count.
There is a game called Not Enough Time, or Not Enough something or other, but I'm guessing that'd be too easy. Not enough time units. Nope, I have no idea. Tell me the answer. I must know now.
Yeah, you have to wait the 20 seconds it takes for the feed to catch up.
Well, who to you with knobs on?
I'll take this opportunity to sit and drink more gin.
Good idea. You could also start the next email.
Yes, I can by hitting my head on things, according to the chat there. XCOM, not enough time units.
XCOM?
Time units?
Nope, don't get that.
I don't get it either. It's been a while since I played XCOM.
No, I know XCOM well, and I still don't get it.
Like the back of your hand? Anyway, let's move on to the next email, which has come in from Travelling Failsman, who is actually here in the live chat. So, hello.
Oh, the old XCOM, I see. Yes, hello. Better not have said anything bad.
So, hello, Flick and Blighty. Congratulations again on your 50th podcast. You guys are over the hill now, metaphorically speaking, of course. And minus one or two technical glitches, I think the live podcast was a success. I think the technical glitch was the fact that the stream ended at one point.
Yeah, still not sure why that happened.
Stuff. Steam. Just blame it on Steam. Okay,
Dead because time. Lily is nerfed.
Oh, you want to just butt in on something? Or
Sorry, no. Nope. You carry on doing his email. I'm just reading from the chat.
I'm being professional.
That's your mistake.
I sit here in my dressing gown, cupping my balls.
God.
Okay, question time. I know the
Hello,
Xbox One...
CR's brother. Sorry, I interrupted you again.
The Xbox One will be at the top of your agendas, so I'll go for something different. This is actually something that we should have talked about, but didn't. The collector's edition of Grand Theft Auto 5 has been revealed. For roughly £120, you get a security deposit bag with logo key, a new era 950 snapback cap, and then in brackets, I guess all the young kids must wear those.
Do they?
Custom,
Do they, though?
Custom characters for the online mode, unique vehicles and garage property. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that's worth the price tag. What do you think?
What is the price tag, did you say?
100.
Or didn't you say? I was half listening.
120.
120? No, definitely not.
No.
For half of it being digital? No, hell no.
Certainly not. Absolutely not.
No way. I'm fairly proud of being amongst the few who got the key to the city for Grand Theft Auto 4 for 100%ing it within the first... Well, it was originally within the first few days, but I think then they extended it for a week of the game being out.
Somebody had too much free time on their hands.
Somebody did, and still does.
Now, actually, what do you think about...
Running from the battlefield, shame for display. That CR would be shocking too.
What do you think about collector's edition games in general? I think we've discussed this before, and it depends kind of on what's actually being offered.
Yeah, and if it's more expensive or not, like the Alan Wake special edition that didn't cost a penny more and was amazing.
No, exactly. There are some special edition things where, I mean, maybe the content is, I don't know, a few maps for something or some skins or something like that.
Yeah.
But maybe you're paying a couple of pounds or up to £5 extra for a special edition for some, digital content. Maybe not too big a deal.
Mm-hmm.
But spending like 2-3 times the cost of a game for stuff that will gather dust and probably end up going in the bin within a year, definitely not worth it.
Digital DLC is like a godsend for publishers because they can then make it pre-order DLC so they can get a nice bidding war going with all the retailers to see who gets what, and then after the fact release it all for people who missed out to buy it again, or to buy it through that method.
Capitalism, baby. Travelling Salesman's pointing out the remote control car with the Call of Duty game. I remember that. That was for the first Black Ops. There was I think it was.
Will the new one come with a dog?
No, it won't be a plush dog. It'll be a real dog.
Mocap dog.
You'll get grow your own dog. You'll get dog semen. And
shut up. You scared someone off again with dog semen. For God's sake.
Scaring people away with my dick and dog semen. This is an excellent podcast.
Also, Call of Duty dogs or ghosts, wherever it's called, the dog will die. Spoilers.
Oh, yeah, that's bound to happen.
Because that's the only way to elicit any sense of sympathy with you, because you won't give a shit about the characters in it.
Can I carry on with the email?
I bet. Hang on, I'm just going to double check. I bet CR's linked the dog corgi thing. Yes, he has. It's a very good picture.
So,
the corgi DLC.
I'm going to make another attempt at the 5-word game description things. Here goes nothing.
Okay.
Hey cousin, let's go bowling. That's going to be Grand Theft Auto 4.
Hey cousin, let's go bowling. Yes, it is. Nico!
Angelic Purple. He reminds me of Costa. Anyway.
Yes, he is a lot like him.
Angelic Purple Gang turns 3. That'd be Saints Row 3.
That'd be Saints Row, yeah.
I'm not sure the answer to this one, but I've got a guess. In Russia, mask stops radiation. Is it going to be like Metro or something?
Metro, Last Light, or the one before it. Or the other one, that old first-person game that was a bit crappy. Stalker.
Oh,
Stalker and the sequel of Stalker. Yeah.
Hopefully those aren't too bad. Well, that's it for me. Keep up the good work, guys.
Those were sissy, baby, evil, weak ones.
Yeah, if I can get them within split second, then they're probably fairly easy.
Yeah, CR agrees, Metro or Stalker. I hated Stalker. I have it, and I couldn't play it for very long.
That always had a dog.
If it had better shooting mechanics and like controls, I would have liked it a lot better.
Was its dog DLC not up to your standards?
It didn't have mocap dogs.
Mocap dog.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the email anyway. It's okay. Don't cry, you pussy.
On to the next email? Or do you want to take a break to do something different? Or we've got
on to the next. Or I could bring up that EA thing I meant to bring up when we were talking about in the Good Rory's email.
You can do that because now you're like prolonging the Bad Rory's email.
Hooray!
That'll annoy him. And then he'll then in turn annoy you again, and eventually somebody will cross the line and we'll find a body.
And sex will happen. Who knows? I just wanted to bring up that...
I thought that was quite nice to leave that uncomfortable silence there.
EA has announced twofold that A, they're kind of abandoning the Wii U, and B, they're doing away with their online pass system to appear as if they're doing something good, but really they're doing absolutely nothing because you don't need online pass systems when the consoles always have to be on.
Yeah,
it's very, very cunning. I was really impressed that that's really cunning.
Abandoning the Wii U is basically their way of saying, look, we know that the hardcore
gamers doesn't need to always be on. Not making anything for the Wii U. Oh, the Xbone needs to always be on. Oh, we're doing away with our online pass system. Aren't we good?
If you've just tuned in, we haven't yet actually covered off the Xbone.
No, sorry, I was linking into it. It's a terrible piece of horrible, disgusting shit.
CR has dropped in another 5-word game. Midget Sentai group are douchebags.
God hand, and I bet you didn't expect me to know that, so screw you.
He did a video of that with those.
Yes, he did. That's how I know.
I didn't know what that is, but now that you've mentioned it, I know the answer.
He was trying to be all smart, and I got it. I actually did buy it on PSN, by the way. I just haven't ever played it yet because I had some leftover money after buying something else.
Just leftover money to buy.
Well, you know, I mean, not like virtual money, you know. Wallet
virtual
funds,
money.
Whatever the hell it's called on PSN. I can't remember. I rarely buy anything on it.
So.
And he's linked it in the chat for people watching this live who wish to see it, or you can go check out his channel and find it. Just type in, Midget Power Rangers, and they'll find you. Your brother has put in a 5-word, go Barry, I choose you. Resident Evil? Pokemon?
Well,
if you name Pokemon your Pokemon
sort of type reference.
Barry? Wouldn't be the first time people have named their Pokemon something stupid.
I'm trying to remember something like
apparently
it was Final Fantasy VII, and I absolutely hated, and I can't even remember, it was Catsith or whatever his name was, Katesith or whatever, and I called them Fuckface or something like that.
Yes, you did.
I call him Smelly Poo and all that sort of. I did not like that. I never played.
In an unrelated topic, you were a fairly immature person when you were younger.
When I was younger.
Naming Katesith Stinky Poo and other such like.
I also stole a bench and ran through people's gardens.
You did, yeah, I remember. I remember hearing about it anyway.
I didn't steal a bench when I was young. I stole a bench like 5 years ago.
Okay. Next email, while CR says other things, Final Fantasy VIII is getting an HD remix, but it's Japanese only. That's disappointing. I like Final Fantasy VIII.
So, email
I like
from
the card game Final Fantasy VIII, especially. Sorry.
Barry was your smart gun in Aliens, Colonial Marines. Barry? Your smart gun, not mine. It was you named him Barry.
No, he named it Pickles because he named everything Pickles.
Yeah, but he named it, but you named it Barry.
Okay, but either way, the rest of it doesn't make sense.
No.
You could have said, like, watch Barry annihilate bad xenomorphs. That's better.
Or shoot aliens alongside human tampon.
I think that might have been one too many. I wasn't counting. Either way, bad Rory's email.
Hello, Hello, disembodied voices of the nether there. Now with the glitz and glamour of the 50th podcast over, you're at the not nearly as interesting or impressive 51st podcast.
He's trying to take over Slime as like the overly posh sounding emailer.
It gets tension. I hear there's good odds of you doing this one live as well, so quickly we return to old gimmicks, it seems. Out of ideas already? In any case...
Someone is on their period. Bloody hell.
Chances are I won't be awake in time for it, since I have to work. So if I'm not there, I hope this email is enough to light up the dreary lives of those present. Ooh.
You know what you should do after you finish reading this? Put his email in the chat.
Right.
That's in his email address.
Oh... a mere shade of the true experience, I know, but hopefully...
Slime has replied he'll never win because he's Canadian French.
A mere shade of true experience, I know, but hopefully it's enough to keep you going for now. On the off chance I am there, then rejoice. This email is an added bonus to the already boundless euphoria that comes from being in my presence. You can pay me back for it later. On a side note...
I was laughing at what CR put in the chat. I won't say what it is.
On a side note, a certain nattering Scotsman's birthday is soon approaching. Now,
how the hell did he know that?
Now, being the gentleman that I am, I wouldn't dream of mentioning the exact date, but if someone else were to mention it, why, that would be completely out of my control. In any case, I think everybody should find out the date one way or another, so that when that special day comes, we can all shower the jaded cynic with the happiness and cheer that he so greatly abhors.
If anyone touches me, I will rape your dog.
He will, you know. On that subject, I do know when your birthday is, I think.
It's about 2 weeks away. In fact, it might be... Yeah, the next podcast we do will be a few days after that. Give or take. I just looked at my calendar very quickly.
So, now a question.
CR, I can't watch videos when I'm doing a live podcast.
Slime Maz wants to know what happens if they don't own a dog. What are you going to do then?
Oh, I was typing a reply. Feel free to share it with the people listening.
And then I'll date it for a while. So, now a question. I assume you've gone over the Xbox thing by now, so won't use that. If not, shame on you. See, when I read this through beforehand, right? And I thought, that's fine, because we'll have covered that by now. And we fucking haven't.
I know we haven't. We're saving it for more
I know. I also assume Flick has mentioned the demo by now as well. If not, shame on Woo.
The demo of what? Project X?
Shame on Woo? W-U? Is that your...
What?
Shame on
the demo,
Woo.
I don't know what... I assume he's talking about the Project Zone demo. Project X Zone.
Maybe. Here's one. You mentioned last time about Dead Island getting torn to shreds in reviews, but said that it isn't a game that should be played alone. So my question is, should a game that's awful on several levels be redeemed if it's fun to play co-op? I can understand that playing with other people tends to be more fun. Mm-hmm. Does that mean the game was meant to be played in co-op, or it's only because of the people you're playing with?
Oh, that's a game-by-game basis. Also, CR says the video he was trying to link me there was showing in one of the old Spyro games, fish swam away from him when you got near, and that's a selling point for Call of Duty dogs. So
the selling point is something
they're catching up
in existence since the first PS1, Spyro was 1996, maybe earlier than. It's about
I have my sister's copy of the second one for PS1.
Pretty certain it was about 96, 97. That's a difficult question.
I think that even though we did kind of make our own fun, for example, Resident Evil 6 is technically more fun co-op, but it still remains shit, even though we were kind of made fun of it as we went. Whereas
we made it actually borderline playable because of the people we're playing with. If you were playing
whereas
co-op with
Aliens was kind of passable, and co-op made it better.
You could be playing with somebody that has the personality of a bit of wet cheese, and then it wouldn't be fun.
Steady on now. Your brother's in the conversation. Sorry.
I think
just
part
of
it is like the people that you're playing with do enhance the experience, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we tried to play mostly co-op stuff. It's quite rare that I find any time to play any single player things. The start of this year has been unusual in that account where I've played a lot of single player stuff because it just so happens
Assassin's Creed. Well,
few single player games that really catch my attention come out when there's like fantastic multiplayer or co-op things on the go at the same time. At the moment, we haven't really had anything decent co-op this year. Nothing like major.
Well, like BioShock 2. Not the DLC, just BioShock 2. No, why am I saying BioShock? Borderlands 2. What the hell am I talking about?
I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck are you on?
Sorry, my wires got crossed.
Borderlands 2, yeah.
Borderlands 2 minus the DLC is what I meant to say. My mistake. It's because I was thinking about three things at once. Because I'm trying to talk, read the chat, think about what I'm going to say next.
I was pointing out that the Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer was only fun with us, etc. So you could be playing with, I suppose if you're playing it with randoms or people that have no personality, then
Ginger Fury. Yeah,
you can't have Ginger Fury without the full BGH crowd. So
I would say, although I always say that I prefer co-op games as well, I do like good single-player experiences.
But that's something that can
like
be easily
Spec Up the Line, for instance.
There are so many situations that can be changed to merge the two together, and Star Wars: The Old Republic is a good example of that because the stories for each of the classes worked, and you still had other people there, and you could still you all went on your own little personal story. Well, they weren't as fleshed out as they could have been. That's the next step in evolution, I reckon.
Well, that's the next step you hope for, perhaps.
Okay.
Oh yeah, look at CR raises his point. Dead Space 3, did co-op make that better? No, because that probably would have been better as a single experience.
Did co-op make Resident Evil 6 any better?
No. Resident Evil 5 was good, and it was co-op.
Yeah, not especially.
Not because of the co-op though.
Yeah. It's whether or not adding it adds anything to the game, or if you can play something on your own. That's all well and fine, but if the co-op is the only way of enjoying it, then
I think Dark Souls would be a perfect example. If it had perfect co-op with only your friends rather than hoping you find your friend, I think that would have amplified enjoyment quite considerably.
So. Yeah, because it would be us against the world.
That's one of the reasons I wanted to go back to see if it was easier to find co-op partners rather than just get invaded. But obviously, I can't because of what we spoke about earlier.
It can be hard. Like Slimass is saying that he played through it co-op with a friend and enjoyed it, Dead Space 3, that is. But it did take away from the atmosphere of the game. And thinking back, I'm like, we've discussed this a few times. I
thought Dead Space 3 incorporated this thing where one player hallucinated and the other one didn't, so only one player would get to see certain things that the other wouldn't. I thought that was quite an interesting mechanic that would have been good in a better game. I like the idea of like you're both playing a horror game and obviously, it's co-op, so you can't be scared. But if
one of you was seeing unicorns and flowers, and the other
no, I mean seeing spooky stuff. Like I think it's like a little toy soldier, from what I remember seeing in reviews of Dead Space 3, and it's just like it's kind of creepy. Speaking of kind of creepy, there's an indie game doing the rounds. I can't remember what it's called, but you play from the perspective of a 2-year-old boy in a haunted house, and it's I watched a video of it, and it looks incredibly impressive and very, very freaky.
Oh, really?
I can't remember what it's called. I wanted to go find the demo of it to try it for myself. But yeah, I suggest I'll try and find the name while you blather on a bit.
You do that. So, I'll carry on with the email, I guess.
Yes, could do that. Or you can just stop.
Here's a hypothetical example. Say you're playing a game where you're constantly with a partner character. This is a very good example, by the way. You're constantly with a partner character controlled by an AI. The game is around par gameplay and story-wise. Not amazing, but not horrible. Now let's say there's a glitch that causes the AI to randomly, and without warning, shoot you in the back of the head and kill you. This is a little bit like playing Dead Island with Flick and Steven, because every once in a while, a gas canister will find its way at your feet.
Mocap dog, liar. Mocap dog, liar,
somebody
liar.
with a pistol will shoot that canister.
TV, sports.
And your corpse will go cartwheeling across the screen.
Sports and TV.
Sports and TV. That's how you're going to interject at any time.
Yep.
Okay, so we've covered
also, just quickly, the name of the game is called Among the Sleep, and it's in alpha at the moment. I suggest everyone go try it out. So it's very good looking.
Back to the email so I can actually get through it.
Sorry.
So we've covered the fact that the AI randomly decides to shoot you in the back and kill you. Unsurprisingly, this would get the game terrible reviews. Yet if you play co-op where a friend controls the partner character, the glitch wouldn't be an issue. So it would be better to play the game co-op than solo. Would that redeem the game? well, yeah, if that was the only issue with the game and you could play it with a co-op person, then that's fine as long as you have a co-op person around.
True.
So
but surely that shit would get patched.
Well, he's thought of that.
Oh.
Also note that saying to wait till a patch is released that fixes the glitch is not an acceptable response.
I didn't say it was, I just said surely it would be.
Assume that no patches will be...
Oh, also, yeah, you're getting a bit roboty. I'm impressed that they hear it, but obviously they hear my end.
Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, boop.
It's fine, you're fine.
Beep, 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 boop, boop, beep, beep, boop, bop, bop.
You scared away another viewer. Fantastic.
Maybe I need to cut my balls again.
That seems like Sierra saying there was a glitch in Fallout or AI, whatever, where someone would just shoot even if you were in front of them. They fixed it in Fallout 2 where you could just give them the command. Surely it would just be a tick box, because you don't ever want a situation where it would be okay for them to fire through you. Just gonna do that. It's what came to mind.
How? Just gonna know.
Just gonna know. No one will know.
So yeah, you're assuming that no patches will be released. Also assume that killing the partner character before he kills you will also result in game over. And to not give a response that goes outside the parameters of the question. I don't think I need to say who that's directed at.
So I can't ask if it's a Wii U game.
Oh.
And get out of it that way? Is it an Xbone game?
No, I would agree that if there was something that broken in the game, that co-op wouldn't redeem the game per se, but the fact that you
obviously it wouldn't.
If you have a get around of it, like, I mean, the odds of us playing a game that's designed where you're one person is playing as the main character and the other person is, you've always got a partner. If you've always got somebody floating about with you, then the game can be made co-op. That's basically that's a given, right? So if you can always play it co-op, then we probably always would play it co-op. Therefore, there is an easy workaround that wouldn't apply to us. Therefore, the game would be okay. Silence.
Yes. Sorry, it's not nice when you leave silence, is it?
Only when you're talking about raping people's dogs. If you hadn't picked up on it by now, I've stopped trying to shorten my emails, since you were rather ingrateful for my efforts when I did. Now for 5-word puzzles. Website sends videos of death.
Persona something.
Persona something. Fair enough. I'll go with that, because I have no idea.
I also don't care.
Face yourself in the TV.
Persona something.
Is that not maybe an Alan Wake one or something, no?
I don't think he's played Alan Wake, for what I know.
That's cheating, knowing what people have played.
I only vaguely know.
Spread rumours, become the truth.
Persona something.
Prophetic email guides your day.
Persona something.
In TV again for tournament.
Persona something.
That's all for now. Try not to cry. I'll email again in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Belmont.
You make him sound like a vampire slayer.
Or a vampire.
Or a vampire, yeah.
One or the other.
I think Belmont is a far more slayer type name than a vampire name.
Okay.
I'm not up on the lexicon of acceptable vampire names.
Can I move on to the last email here?
Yeah.
So this one is from Slightmans.
Oh, hello, Slimaz. Also, apparently that last one was definitely Persona 4 Arena, so I got one right at least.
This
one
is
year
like
after everyone else got it.
QI, where if you answer the blue whale to every question, eventually the answer will be blue whale.
If I remember rightly, the one time it was that answer, he didn't guess it.
Yes, that's true. Hello, Flick and Blighty. Excuse any mistakes in this email, as I'm in the process of listening to the podcast at present, and your voices may confuse my words whilst I type. Okay. Seeing as I am typing this whilst listening to you do your podcast live, I will get straight to the question. Gaming is a hobby that most age groups engage in these days. I think it would be safe to assume that most people that do game live in a modern world and as such have modern values and beliefs to a certain
except Nintendo.
extent. Except for Nintendo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll agree to that. So with this in mind, why does sexism exist in the gaming community? A person's gender does not impact their ability to game effectively, in my opinion. So there should be no reason for it. Discuss. The first thing that jumps to my head is my sister playing a racing game and doing that thing with the controller where they...
Oh, that's fantastic. That is not gender specific.
It's more prevalent. Not. It's more prevalent in women, or in my experience, anyway.
I must admit, I was only half listening, so I don't know what the question was. I was
We
replying
live in a
to
modern
CR.
world, and everybody's like, joined.
I heard the sexism
21st
stuff.
century, so why is sexism still prevalent in gaming? This goes back to that gamers versus tropes thing from a while back.
Oh. Why is it still prevalent? Because the majority of gamers are male, and therefore sexy female figures appeal to males, and they will buy a game because they're stupid.
Young males are probably more easily influenced than
By their genitals.
young
Yes.
females tend to be more influenced by other young females.
By other people's genitals, yes.
I'm influenced by my genitals, but
Still.
she's influenced by other people's genitals. Yeah, to a certain extent, I suppose.
Did we just
I make plenty of cups of tea for the prom.
There's something ironic about a discussion about sexism going down to dicks. Somewhere
Talking about
down
dicks.
inside.
No, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't.
I
get
do.
it.
That's the
It's a case of sex sells, I suppose, and the people that are
Yes.
described by the whole sex sells things are young guys. Therefore, sexism still remains.
they can't help themselves.
Or their dicks. I'm conscious that we are now, at least an hour and a half into the podcast, and we haven't actually covered the Xbone yet.
Crap. Okay, let's do it, because
So
we're going to
we're
have
gonna
to,
have-
otherwise we're never going to have time to cover all this shit. Did you watch the presentation of the Xbox One, which is joint with Wii U for shittest console name ever?
I didn't watch it at the time, and I've watched the highlight reels and stuff. I haven't watched the full length presentation, but I'm kind of glad from pulled out that I didn't bother.
Are you aware that just before they went live, the PS4, there was a PS4 semi-reveal trailer, showing blurred images of the PS4, saying you'll see it for proper at E3, and the official Sony Twitter said, here's a teaser trailer because it's a slow news day.
So this is them.
They got their bitch slap in early.
Pull the rug out from underneath Microsoft's feet.
Yeah, that was a fun way to start. So, the Xbox One reveal was absolute shit. It was a horrible. They got it so wrong. They got it so very wrong.
I don't want to play devil's advocate. No, I do. But my argument on this is that this is a reveal of the console, not a reveal of the capabilities for gaming for the console. It's going to play games. What else is it going to do? Let's show you what else it can do and tell you what else it can do. E3 is for showing the games. This isn't E3.
It's for nothing. At least they showed of the little checklist I've made of stuff to talk about. The one positive I think I have is, at least they showed the console. Downside, the console looks shit. It's a giant VCR player.
They're going retro.
It's huge.
Maybe it looks. Maybe
it has a compulsory Kinect that's twice the size of the current Kinect.
So that it can spy on you better.
It has to be plugged in. It has to be on, and it has to always be watching you. You need at least 2 meters in front of your television to use a Kinect.
I have that.
Most people don't.
Most people didn't want to sit on the can and use the Wii U separate screen so they could play games while taking a dump.
Also, the trailer they ran just before the conference started said that they want us to have relationships with our TVs. Just saying, that's one of the notes I made. I noticed.
My sex box.
Also,
her name is
Sony. In these notes when I started getting a bit angry because I then wrote down after it, talk at your console because you're too fucking lazy to press a button. Also, TV, sports, TV, mocap dog. And this, I was having a lot of fun bitching about this conference on Twitter, which I kind of do the similar thing for Critical Gamer when E3 is on. I do write-ups of all the live shows and publish them on there.
It's the same thing.
So I was kind of doing it live for a change, and I had a lot of fun doing it.
It's the same thing that I have a habit of doing when I'm forced to watch Eurovision, which this year I managed to duck
you missed
out
it this year.
But last year I went through Eurovision doing the same thing. It's a lot of fun.
So one thing,
it's a way of expelling all that bile. I mean, we kind of do that in the podcast in general now. It's just a
yes. So let me get on with it.
Okay. Well, calm down. Put your dick
I noticed
away.
fairly early on in the conference that whenever there was clapping, no one in the audience was clapping. No, that's not necessarily because they were disappointed with the crap on stage as I was. It was mostly because they were all pressed, so they all had their laptops open. They were all taking pictures and blogging.
Yeah.
So it was really bugging me because there was a lot of clapping and no one was clapping. So I dug into it, and a few people there said, I'd actually tweeted during it, if you're wondering, none of the press are clapping, it's coming from the back of the room, one person said, probably where all the Microsoft employees are. So if you're curious who was clapping, it was paid people clapping.
Shameful.
Also, that's not a Microsoft thing, everybody does that, it's just funny that they were the only ones, so it was really obvious during the live show. Because none of the actual audience was clapping.
Poor camera placement. That's probably why.
Yeah.
The fact that you could see them more often when they're...
So then there was the only high point was Remedy making a new game. Then it wasn't Alan Wake 2, and I was disappointed.
But...
I'm not talking about Injustice Pig, CR, be quiet.
Injustice Pig. But...
It is a game about a little girl that makes boats crash into bridges by touching people's ears, like those people said in that recap video.
But it might be alright.
It might be. I mean, Remedy makes good games. I love Remedy's games.
I am the voice of...
It wasn't Alan Wake.
You are... The glass isn't half empty.
Down, and over the course of the next 15 minutes, I will crush your optimism. I will perfect it in a battle.
You can never crush my optimism.
Challenge accepted.
Go for it.
It's got smart glass. I still don't know what smart glass is. Do you know what smart glass is?
It's glass that is smarter than you.
Okay.
Smarter than
it's out later this year, so that means it's out at Christmas, same as PS4. It's using DDR3 RAM. That's last gen RAM.
True.
PS4 has DDR5 or whatever it's called.
True. So
therefore, it is better.
You're going with the arguments of the reason why the Wii U isn't next gen because it's just current gen.
Well, if I was making a brand new console, I wouldn't use last gen RAM.
Yeah.
I would want it to be, good.
There are, on that subject, the backbone behind the new Call of Duty game is current gen stuff. So it's not actually next gen.
Yeah, I know. That explains why the mocap dog stuff was not that impressive looking to me.
Because it's
current now. Stop distracting me when I'm trying to crush his optimism. The hell is this? What the hell is that?
You're confusing the listeners.
I'm sorry, but I don't know what it is, but it's very funny.
It's a gif of somebody knocking a door down, and
and then they've got a vacuum cleaner with 2 toilet rolls attached to the end of it. So it's firing them.
I wish to make this device.
Why did you have to show him that? I'm going to have to put up with that the next time I visit him. Oh, also me moaning about the Xbox is killing our viewers, so I'm going to carry on. Indie devs aren't allowed to get on the new whatever equivalent of Xbox Arcade there is unless they have a publisher.
And when was the last time you bought an indie game on Xbox Live?
Castle Crashers.
And that was only bought on the basis that I told you that it would be a good game to buy.
Irrelevant, because indie...
Not irrelevant.
Doing well
on
Minecraft
my recommendation.
Has sold over 3 million copies on the Xbox. I'm pretty sure Notch wouldn't have put it on there if he had to go find an independent publisher to put it on their forum.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact details, but I'm fairly certain that he was approached for it rather than...
Well, no, I think you're thinking of the mobile version, which is handled by someone else, like another company, because he didn't want any influence. It's got a single 500 gigabyte hard drive, which can never be replaced, so if it breaks, you're fucked.
Yeah, but it's now capable of you plugging in all sorts of external storage into it.
Yeah, and for all you know, it could be Microsoft only.
That's true.
Expensive. Not as large as the internal one, and you're still stuck with an internal one, and you've got this huge console, so if it does break and you need an external hard drive, you've got more stuff to hang off of it.
True. Can you remove the PlayStation one?
Nope.
So then
actually,
that's
can you?
Moot point. If you
No, actually it's not, because you know what? The PS3 doesn't break.
I didn't say PS3, I said PS4.
Oh, well, in that case, PS4, I've got no idea.
So
the PS3s
moot
don't
point,
break.
Until you know that you can't remove that, then it's moot point. Continue.
Okay. They released
optimism. You cannot
release an official FAQ after the conference, addressing the very negative reaction everybody gave. Although the only people to benefit really from the conference were Sony, whose share price in the space of an hour went up to $10 a share, which is the highest it's been in quite some time, which is very funny. Yeah, so in this FAQ, I'm going to read directly from it here. Question: does Xbox One require an always-on internet connection? Answer: no, it does not always have to be connected, but Xbox One does require a connection to the internet.
Huh?
So it isn't always on, but does have to be online.
To be always connected to the internet, but it does require an internet connection.
Yeah. And you know what else did that? SimCity. And that went so well.
That's true, yes.
Will Xbox One allow players to trade in, purchase and play pre-owned games? We are designing Xbox One to enable customers to trade in and resell games. We'll have more details to share later. Would you like to hear that leaked information now?
Go for it.
Okie dokie, let me just get up this window.
This is about...
Publishers to receive cut of Xbox One pre-owned sales. Only shops that are licensed to use the Azure Cloud, Microsoft's official cloud-based system, will ever accept Xbox One pre-owned games. They will scan it. It will be removed from your account. They will then be able to resell it with only 10% of the final resale given back to them. The rest given to Microsoft and the developers. Also, the resale price will be in the range of £35.
That's pretty bad.
And that also explains why you have to have your Xbox always online, because it will check.
Yeah, so it can identify whether or not that you've...
It also confirms with EA getting rid of their online pass system because it's no longer required. It also matches up with other rumours, circulating around about... Although they did say you can play a game on a friend's console without all this happening if you recover the equivalent of an account recovery, as you can do now. Of course, what you can also do now is just take a game around to someone's house and they can play it. But, we don't want to do that. We want you to pay £35 for that friend's game.
Or you can loan it to somebody. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Well, where's this optimism?
But then, how often do you buy pre-owned games? Or, to that matter, how often do I buy pre-owned games? Answer.
It's irrelevant how often you do it. It's how often the masses do. Because surely if it wasn't a lot of people, they wouldn't do such draconian things.
I don't care about the masses. I care about me. Everything that happened, every major event during the course of my life that happened to me.
That's why no one's interested. Microsoft has patented the ability to award achievements through watching television. One example given is holding a product up to your Kinect to prove that you have it.
But that doesn't mean squat. You don't gain anything for having achievements.
And the thing linked to it is that moment from the second Wayne's World film where they just go through various product placements while looking at the camera and grinning.
Yeah.
That is now what they've decided their console is for. It's for targeted marketing. You get rewarded because people do care about achievements, whether you want to or not.
Achievement unlocked, product 4.
They will go to the extent of I can get a 50-point achievement if I hold up a bag of Doritos to my shitty Kinect thing.
I don't see that as being any worse than people spending 6 billion hours unlocking the Seriously 3.0 achievement in Gears of War 3. I'm looking at UCR.
Yeah, he has 3.0.
Yeah.
He sucks.
So I don't see that as being any worse than somebody having to go through all of that trauma.
Question: why require Kinect with every Xbox One? The all-new Kinect is now an essential and integrated part of the platform. By having it as a consistent part of every Xbox One, entertainment and game creators, entertainment being TV and sports, by the way, can build experiences that assume the availability of voice gesture, neural sensing, and leading to unrivaled ease of use, premium experiences, and interactivity for you. I just want a fucking pad to play games.
But it doesn't matter. If they're saying specifically, right, that the cost of the product has gone up because you've got the Kinect sensor built in.
Of course it will. But there's more hardware.
But they haven't actually pointed out that the product is going to be more expensive because of that.
Of course they're not. Because Microsoft and Sony are in a pissing contest about who can keep things secret the longest to see if they can screw the other one over. Microsoft is misfired with their conference, but now it's down to E3.
While I've got my as you put it, like misplaced optimism, you're basically going with the lesser of two evils.
Yes.
Rather than actually picking a good thing, you're just going with the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, I don't think the PS4 is the savior of this generation of gaming. I think it's the lesser of two evils.
The only real winner then is the person being dragged down by the consoles, and that's the PC. Because the only reason that PC gaming is on current generation graphics is because
of console ports.
Because people have to make sure they can port it over onto the consoles. If they didn't have to put up with those dead weights, they could be far, far ahead of where they are now.
Well, actually, that's where it could be good, because if games now will not have to be integrated with Kinect features, but encouraged to by Microsoft, they might say, screw it, we'll just put it on PC. Don't need any of that crap.
That would be a good idea. I would approve of that.
CR's linked me to something that's apparently my achievement. What is it? Oh, it's the picture of that guy surrounded by Doritos and Mountain Dew. It's with a quote of his saying, when brands partner with gaming, it's great. Presumably he didn't say it's great, and he did actually say it's great, because he was with Frosties at the time.
I agree that it's stupid, but I disagree that it's a bad point to the console, because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't mean anything.
No, this is all just down to you not liking the connectivity of PSN and sticking to your guns about Xbox Live, which I will not be getting anymore. I get to free up my money. I don't get to pay a shitty subscription I don't need because I won't be getting an Xbox One or Xbone, as people have taken to calling it amusingly.
What happens?
I love that Microsoft sent out a press release like to partners and retailers saying, do not refer to it as these things.
What happens when we start suffering the same problems we have with Halo 4 then?
No, that's a bad example because Halo 4 is on the Xbox.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying what happens when we start suffering that consistently across all of the...
We'll play it on PC.
But not everything's going through to PC. And even
then I'll miss out on some stuff. I don't care. There's no Xbox exclusives that I can't get on PC. There are, however...
There has been... They've asked specifically whether or not the exclusive stuff, they talked about the 15 new titles or whatever.
I know that, and of course they did, because they know that people like me will think that way. We don't want your shitty new console, so we'll just buy it on PC. Oh, no, sorry, it's Connect required, so you can't. Of course they'll say that.
On a slight tangent there, have you seen that they're trying to release a mouse that has the Windows button on the PC?
Oh. Yeah, Microsoft is just making so many bad mistakes. Like first Windows 8 and now this. They need a slap. They need a Nintendo bitch slap. Both of them do. Both of us.
I wait to reserve full judgment until both products have been released.
There is no game, big reveal, no franchise that will make me believe that the Xbox One is a good console.
But what happens if when the PlayStation comes out, it's just as bad? You're still just going to go, well, it's fine, I'll go with PlayStation, even if it's just as bad.
If they're both equally bad, I think Microsoft has been the bigger bastard, so I will go to Sony.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So, email the podcast, bringohurry@gmail.com.
What's going to happen to the podcast if you don't have any games to play?
I'll always have games to play.
What's going to happen to the podcast?
I have handheld games.
Any decent games to play?
I always have decent games to play.
On what?
On PC, on PS4, on handhelds, on any device indie developers intend to make things on. Or go retro.
Go retro. Let's load up Streets of Rage 2.
Let's go play Super Mario Brothers and upload a Let's Play.
I've got Streets of Rage 2 and I've got it on the PlayStation.
Do you?
Yeah, because I've got that Sega Classic.
Oh, I think I had that and I sold it. Crap. We could have played it. That would have been... No, if that's a Sega game, Sega would bitch slap on YouTube as well, probably.
Yeah. But still, it's fun.
Let's talk about this in the post-show. Let's thank people for listening, who are listening after the fact.
Thanks to all the folk that emailed in. Thanks to everybody that turned up to listen to us rant. We got a little bit carried away towards the end with...
well, I did. I apologise for my filthy language. It just really annoys me.
So, yeah, you can check out the general videos that go up on YouTube at FlickFFXI. We do have a Steam group, which we we do indeed. We really should try to figure something out, and I think suggestion.
Yes, remember my suggestion? We should have talked about that. Trying to do an iSketch game night, just online Pictionary.
It's
not for videos or anything, just for something to do.
We last played that something like 15 years ago. But
yeah, it's been going on for a long time.
I also like the Dota 2 idea. I'm sure somebody said they had
and Sanctum 2.
30 odd keys or something.
Yeah, the good Rory got like that glitch that gave him crap ton of keys.
Gift out keys to me and stuff.
You could either give you the keys or just do a post in our group.
Like Felsman suggesting maybe Civ 5. He finally figured out how to play it. Also
what he means by that is he just kills everybody.
Yeah.
So he plays as Russia, 5, so he's role playing pretty well.
Civ 5 is my cocaine, like seriously.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Yeah. It is pretty bad. So thanks for staying tuned. I'm sure we'll have some weird and wonderful outro music on the go. Slimeass doesn't own it, but he could have.
Go to twitch.tv/FlexGamingStuff if you want to watch us live, because now we're drifting out into post music, and then we're going to do a post show that you won't hear if you weren't watching it live.
Yeah, so if you're turning up live, you can hear all the good stuff.
Yeah, we'll save the good stuff for when we're not recording. That's fantastic.
That sounds like something we do.